The horrors of Goodwill. A Papa Meat video. Love Papa Meat.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on, sit
W Magic the Gathering shirt.
on down because today we're going to talk about Goodwill pickers. Yes. Chances are you've been to a Goodwill thrift store at some point in your life, or you've
And all of them fucking suck. They never have my size in anything. Anything I ever want. I always go with Brooke, and she's like, we're gonna get a pair of Levi jeans for good money. Every pant is either for fucking toddlers or like they're size 45 waist. I'm wearing a fucking potato sack around my fucking pants. They never have my size in anything. And then they just have a bunch of broken
at least heard of it. People donate their unwanted stuff and customers can browse around and potentially buy something decent for relatively cheap. All right.
I gotta say this though. Donating clothes to Goodwill. Good. Buying clothes from Goodwill. Good. Donating used underwear to Goodwill. They have lingerie at Goodwill. That's like one of the products that I would say should stay. Somebody said good. Donating lingerie to Goodwill? Good. No, I think that you I don't know. You know, to each their own. But the idea of wearing like used panties
Relatively.
is like,
Goodwill Industries is a non-profit organization founded in 1902 by a man named Edgar J. Helms. And after collecting goods and clothing from wealthy areas in Boston, he hired less fortunate people to repair and resell them. All right, you take fancy rich people stuff and you have the poor people come in and they'll fix it up and then you sell it to the poor people for a profit. There you go.
Dude, I love though when a Goodwill will have like an item from your local high school that no one would ever want. I know they deny certain things. Like, they don't just take anything. Like, if you go to them with, like, a fucking broken blender, they're not gonna take it. But there will be, like, random paintings, and it'll be, like, class of 2015. I'm like, you're pulling a niche market here. You're pulling for people that graduated in that year that want a painting of their high school graduation year for some fucking odd reason. Like family photos. I always find that funny. Like, most Goodwills will like either change them out for like default photos or just make it like an empty frame. But I love when a Goodwill keeps like the fucking OG photo in the frame. Like the person gave the frame photo with it and they didn't take the photo out, and it'll just be like some guy, like some dude, or just like a painting of something that's like so stupid.
This is what started Goodwill, which is not only a thrift store, but a network of over 150 autonomous organizations worldwide that aim to provide jobs and rehabilitation to less fortunate people and those with disabilities. Sounds like a pretty good deal, right, Nick? You're helping the poor, you're helping the disabled.
What could go wrong?
What?
It's basically the same thing as like scalpers, though. Like Goodwills in rich areas, not Goodwills in general. Goodwills in like rich areas effectively become like farming areas for like hustlers that just want to try and find like, obviously you're not going to get like a Chrome of Hearts jeans or something, like something that's an expensive prime item. Like a collector's item that's worth, $500, $1,000, and the Goodwill employee didn't, pick that out.
Could go wrong! While this company came from humble beginnings, it was evolved into something much more chaotic and dangerous. So today, we're gonna look into Goodwill's shady business practices, as well as the never-ending war zone
What's the bins?
created by the obsessive Goodwill shoppers. And let me tell you, there are some...
The bins. I've never been... Have y'all ever gone to the bins? I've never done that. I know there's a lot of places that aren't Goodwill that do that, though. The bins are nasty. No, if I've ever gone to a Goodwill, I just go to the store. But the bins is basically... He'll probably explain it, but it's basically you get like 15 minutes or something in like waves of people to just sift through shit and just take whatever you want. Well, you have to pay for it, but...
Obsessive shoppers out there, all right? Goodwill, despite seeming endlessly charitable, is not without its controversies. Like with everything, you're gonna have a little something shady, but Goodwill just, it it goes off and it says, you know what, we're a charity, we're a nonprofit. And that's where this thing gets...
Bro said Chrome of Hearts. I don't know what it's fucking called. I don't understand hype clothing, and I'm never paying fucking $10,000 for a pair of fucking jeans.
It's a little dicey in my opinion. Goodwill uses a large
Chrome Hearts, not Chrome of Hearts.
percentage of the revenue to fund training programs for those that struggle to find work, which is a good thing. They also pay enormous salaries to those running each individual organization, and some CEOs like Stephen Loughborough received over $904,000 in 2022 alone.
This is a nonprofit.
Well, okay, but is he the CEO of Goodwill?
Some CEOs like Stephen Loughborough received over 900.
Like, if he's the CEO of all of Goodwill, I don't think that's that crazy of a salary. I know this is like a charitable organization, but most CEOs get paid like tens of millions of dollars.
$4,000 in 2022 alone.
This is a
Oh,
nonprofit.
there's multiple CEOs.
It's a nonprofit organization, right? I mean, it's
He's only CEO of one Goodwill. That's not that's not possible. One Goodwill isn't making $1 million a year.
important job that he's running, Nick. What do you think? Do you think that somebody in a nonprofit should be allocating those funds, or does it seem like a Ponzi scheme to just be like, we'll take a large portion, but then we pay our little crew handsomely? Is that fair or unfair?
I think it's unfair. I think if you're a nonprofit, just like the Hank Hill episode, remember when they freaked out? We made profit.
We made profit. While it's common for nonprofit organizations to pay their higher-ups good salaries, they are typically scaled down from traditional for-profit businesses for the sake of public perception, because once again,
I've never seen a Goodwill worker smile.
from traditional
This is news. Okay. No, but you walk into a Goodwill, they're lugging one of these carts sluggishly. They're not happy.
for-profit businesses for the sake of public perception, because once again, for-profit is different than non-profit. Our company's not supposed to make money. We're supposed to take everything that we make and give it back to whatever organization. For these people, the people that can't find
Yeah, overflow just goes back to the business and back to the people within that business.
work, people with disabilities, that kind of stuff. That's the code. At the same time, if I can get a crisp mill off the top of it, why not? Part of why Goodwill customers are still critical of this, however, is due to their belief that disabled workers are exploited by the nonprofit. Okay. Due to a loophole in the Fair Labor Standards Act, Goodwill is able to get away with paying those with disabilities less than a
They don't have to pay them minimum wage. Oh my God. Back to one more thing about, this could be in the video. I don't care. When I was in Mexico, guess how much they get paid? Like base pay, the guy at the gift shop, not allowed to receive tips. A lot of the other workers are, like bartenders, waiters, golf cart guys. $3 an hour was his wage. I cash out with the guy at the gift shop. $3 per hour. That's what he gets paid. And we tried to tip him. And the guy went, I can't receive a tip. They might fire me. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I'd rather have my secured $3 an hour. Secured $3 an hour. Dog, you work 10 hours, you get $30. Taxable. That is crazy. What did Brady say? Chris was telling me about this. Bro, $3 an hour. I tipped the golf cart guy $10 for driving me half a mile. So I'm like, number one, everybody here is probably getting paid ass. Number two, the golf cart guy, I just gave your 3-hour wage in 1 minute. Like, that's unfair for me to not be able to tip the cashier at the gift shop. Like, I should be able to give money to whoever the fuck I want. Now, I would understand him not being allowed to pester me for tips, but how is he not allowed to take my money? I should be able to give you money. If I want to give you money, what's you to fucking say I can't give you money? I'm allowed to give money to whoever I want to fucking give money to.
Wait.
Anyways, that's crazy. If they're allowed to pay them less than minimum wage, because in some states, minimum wage is still federal, which is like $7.50. That you're getting paid less than that? That's fucking terrible.
At least they got a job.
You found work, but at what cost? This has been reoccurring issues with Goodwill for several years, with reports even in 2011 showing that some were being paid as little as
22 cents? Why is he working? 22 cents an hour? Oh my God. Bro, you're gonna have to work for fucking like a month to get anything. 22 cents an hour. Not even a quarter.
Some were being paid as little as 22 cents an hour.
Is this China? Is this China?
What are we supposed to pay him? Look at him. It's like a regular employee, like just like putting stuff on a shelf.
At our college, Harry used to work with people, I forget what they're called, but they were disabled people working for the college. They would pay them based on, like, the output. Because they're like, oh, you only stacked.
You did nothing. At that point, if you're paying somebody 22 cents, is it just to give them, like, a place to be? And if that's the case,
I think that's weird if they pay them based on output, because most minimum wage workers are doing the bare minimum. So now you still have to pay them minimum wage, but because the guy's disabled and he's not putting a lot of, I guess, like, output into the work, you can forcibly pay him less.
then why even pay them?
It's like a sense of purpose. It's like giving like a child. When my mom used to work for this lawyer, he couldn't see at all, but my mom would hand him blank checks to sign to feel like he's still doing work. So it's kind of like that.
Here we go. A big, important check signed off. And she even gave him like a crayon, a crown. But this pen smells weird. That's fine. It's like a coloring book. He's just like, all right, here I am filling out these checks for my important business. In 2019, due to a minimum wage increase, a branch of Goodwill Industries in Springfield sent letters to a dozen disabled workers that were part of the job skills program. They were told they were fired until rescinding their decision and apologizing due to the vicious pushback. What am I supposed to do? Pay these freaks? No.
I mean, dude, how many employees do you need at a Goodwill? I know they get a lot of stuff coming in. Nothing's ever organized, but no one cares. Like, if you go to a Goodwill, yeah, there's like a pants section and like a toy section, but they're all just jumbled there. Like, it's not like Walmart where like everything's like fucking perfectly aligned because they have people that their jobs are to fucking fix the cereal boxes.
Fair wage for you. We can't keep you. They take their collars off. Go free. Run. In 2022, a woman that had previously worked in an assisted living facility posted a TikTok to discuss their qualms with Goodwill. According to her, many of the boys and girls living there worked at Goodwill due to their disabilities being paid less than $1 per hour.
Slave labor, man.
Slave labor. Goodwill? Slave labor. Like, I'm sure the person that is like running Goodwill is making, I mean, millions and millions. For a nonprofit, you're just like, can you not?
I mean, what is like an hourly wage where it even makes sense for you to feasibly work there? Like, if you're not in the US, I mean, it varies by state, but if you're not even, yeah, I think the average wage should be way higher in most states. But if you're not making like, I would say if you're making like $6 an hour, you could like reasonably go, this could somehow support me, because you make, 10 hours, you make $60 a day. But even then, like, that's not, if you have a family or you live anywhere that it costs like any amount of money to live, you're not able to fucking support that, because you're also going to be getting taxed. 16 an hour? Well, no, I think that depends on the state. I understand why certain states have lesser minimum wage, because in New Jersey, it's like $15.30. And if you had that in like Idaho, where nobody lives and the cost of living's lower, that wouldn't make sense. But still.
Throw them off $7.25 an hour. During the job, one woman had soiled herself. Instead of sending her home, they gave her a choice. Either keep working or swap to a used pair of underwear sold.
They said you shit yourself, you can pick out a pair of underwear.
In the store. She ended up keeping her own pair on and finishing the rest of her shift in her own filth.
They told her she could keep working with poop in her pants. That should be like a health violation. I would be like, go home. Like, go home. They made her keep working.
I personally, as a shift lead, would have been like, why don't you go home?
Isn't that like, that's disgusting. Imagine having to like stand in your own poop for like 5 hours.
How many more hours you have left?
It's just mushing. It's just mushing. You're getting a poop rash just all over your butt and your thighs. Starts dripping down your leg.
Your shift, we'll pay you the 66 cents. You know what I mean? How gross is it too? Go take one of the used panties. Also, let me tell you something else. If you buy something from Goodwill or any thrift store, you don't go home and wash it before you wear it.
What's wrong with that?
I don't trust that those people are actually washing the clothes before they put them out.
I think they wash them, but I'm thinking
they say that they wash them. I think washing the clothes.
Why is somebody? The bigger problem is a motherfucker giving that to Goodwill. Why are you? Yo, no one wants your shit-stained jeans, dog. No, that's crazy. Like, I would get you turning that into a facility that's gonna reuse the material and, like, get rid of it. No one wants to buy your poop pants
before they put them out.
I think they wash.
Oh my God, Goodwill trying to sell poop-stained jeans for Well, that's a steal. $7.99 for jeans? Are those leave? Another page.
Them, but I'm thinking
they say that.
Oh, Lucky Brand. Yo, those are like multiple sharts. That's not one shitted pants.
They wash them. I think
That's like they fucking shitted them, washed them, reused them, pooped in them again, and went, might as well get rid of them.
store you don't go home and wash it before you wear it.
What's wrong with that?
I don't trust that those people are actually washing the clothes before they put them out.
I think they wash them, but I'm thinking
they say that they wash.
I know they have to. They have to. I will say I get worried about, like, I wouldn't try on a hat in Goodwill. Like, there could be lice. Not even if it's, like, not washed when they got it, but somebody could go to Goodwill with lice, wear a hat, and then you put on that hat and get lice. Like, that's just...
Wash them. I think I saw, like, a blood stain on a shirt one time, and I was like... Huh? I think that's when you toss in the trash.
Oh, that'll come out.
Also, it was like a little kid shirt. I was like, Jesus Christ. Today's episode.
Okay, you remember how earlier I was like they would never sell a broken blender at Goodwill? They sell broken food items, like a crock pot. Like, do you think they check to see if they're working? Because if you ever, like, next time you're near a Goodwill, just walk in, skip the clothing aisle, go to, like, the utilities. And some of those items look like it's like a toaster from 1982. And I know, like, those were built to last in that era, but, like, why am I paying $12 for a toaster at Goodwill when I could get a brand new one for $20, $30? You know, from fucking Amazon. Yeah, it's like a shitty one that might break 5 years later, but at least it has different settings.
Treatment in the workplace. Their efforts to unionize were met with aggressive and overwhelming union-busting efforts. In 2024, 3 notorious union-busting firms were hired, pressuring people into one-on-one meetings and having their work heavily surveilled. It's funny to think that they brought in union-busting for, like, mentally disabled... physically disabled people, and they're just like, your job's not that hard. What the fuck are you talking about? And this is far from the only controversy that they've had. In 2017, in Sacramento, Goodwill was fined over $100,000 from safety violations that led to
a worker's gruesome death. How did they die in a Goodwill? In the back?
A 26-year-old dock worker being crushed to death by heavy machinery. A truck driver accidentally released a cable holding a trash bin, which had fallen on a worker named Abraham Garza. His skull was pinned between the bin and the trash compactor, killing him soon after. David Goody, who witnessed the tragic accident, was blamed for his death due to supposed negligence, despite warning them on multiple occasions about the company's inadequate training and potential safety hazards.
He's like, I don't know how to operate this.
What am I supposed to do? Regardless, they denied that the fatal accident was their doing and terminated Goody a week later, banning him from that location entirely, as if he's like, what, I can't get my shorts here anymore?
Well, aren't there people that like actively try to find businesses that don't follow health violations and get injured? That's like a type of person. There's like a name for that. Like a guy that tries to get hired at places so they could slip and fall and like get injured and then sue for like 50 grand and then job hop, call OSHA, say they're fucking job violating. No, they're not an auditor. Like they're just a guy. Like he doesn't work for a company. It's not insurance fraud either. It's like he'll just openly work at a place that he knows will fucking get him hurt and then, you know, maybe lean into it a little bit.
Do you think he kept coming back?
Yeah, he's like, the deals are too good. Goody, you gotta get out of here. Get out of here, Goody. It seemed that Goodwill had a track record of
a snitch? Well, if you break your arm because your company didn't have right safety violations, I don't think you're a snitch for wanting them to pay for your medical bill and give you some financial compensation. Like, imagine you're at Home Depot and somebody fucking whacks your arm off with an axe. And you're like, yeah, dude, I'm not going to say anything because I'm a bitch.
Injuries due to improper training. And in 2014 and 2017, 2 people were killed in forklift accidents, and apparently the test to obtain the forklift license was impossible to fail and took less than half an hour, which I want to say I worked at FedEx for a little bit. It took, I think it was like, I'm not even joking, like 4 weeks of training. It wasn't half an hour, let me tell you that. One of the most fascinating things about Goodwill is the chaos surrounding Goodwill outlets. I did not know about this phenomenon, which is different from the stores. Like a Goodwill store is going to be different than the Goodwill outlets itself, and there's a whole culture behind Goodwill outlet shoppers.
Let's go thrifting at Goodwill. Today, we're going to Sacramento, California to go see how the new Goodwill bins are. I had to get there at 9 a.m. bright and early to see that there would be some good options for me. We're hunting for a few things today, including number 1, Chrome Hearts pants. Number 2, some sort of jewelry. Fucking stupid.
These, I guess, parasites is what
fucking hate that shit.
you might want to call.
When they're a food reviewer, bro, the food reviews on TikTok are the worst. I love food reviewers in general, but it'll be a motherfucker hyping up Sonic. And we're going to Sonic to try out their new quadruple double cheeseburger. It was immaculate, to say the least. I got a chili corn dog as well.
The guy who helps you make
Oh wow, the chili corn dog at Sonic was fucking hype.
all the puppets on this channel. These, I guess, parasites is what you might want to call them. The guy who helps you make all the puppets on this channel, Adam or Creature Kid, is, I mean, a fiend. He's addicted, and I think it really does build addiction. Like, I think that the people who
Well, it's like gambling almost. You're able to like just go and try and find. It's like, you know, it's the same thing as like a dad at a beach metal detecting. That's what it is. Going to the bins at a Goodwill is the equivalent of buying a metal detector and just wandering beaches in hopes of finding a fucking Rolex that fell off someone's wrist 3 years ago.
who are these Goodwill outlet shoppers, they're addicted to going. When retail Goodwill stores fail to sell their products, they end up being sent to Goodwill outlets as a last-ditch effort to get rid of them. You throw your unused shit into one of the Goodwill donation bins. From there, they're sorted, they go to a store, and if it doesn't sell at the store, it goes back here. Sometimes, too, if there's excess overflow, they'll just go straight to the outlets. And if it doesn't...
Do they ever throw shit out? I would love to work at a Goodwill to know what they don't, because they don't put everything out. If something's there for like a year, they probably go, this is never gonna sell. Like, this is shit. There has to be things that people donate and they go through and they're like, I'm not selling a used dildo. Yeah, probably, yeah, I would assume, yeah, they're probably not trying to resell sex toys. I would say that would probably be a part of the rule set there. I don't know if anybody's really donating that.
At the outlet, it's going into a landfill. Other items include those that are in poor condition and not deemed fit to sell at traditional retailers. I don't really know the process of
Oh, unfit. So no, but these go to the bins. Where's the other shoe? Where's the other shoe? Like, duct tape them together. See, we're going to the bins. You know, if I ever fucking go to one of these, I'm throwing one into the other bin. How the hell are you going to find the other one in this fucking mess?
Sell at traditional retailers. I don't really know the process of how they actually go through and sift through stuff, but just know that the Goodwill outlet, it has everything. Everything you could ever want is in this outlet. It's
Insanely lucky day at Goodwill. Paid $30 out of the door, but he's hyped for a bunch of Wii U games. This is kind of crazy. Wii U, Minecraft, PS2, Harry Potter. $30 and he got all of this? He got a Game Boy? That doesn't work. How do you know, like, I wouldn't want to buy that. Even if it's like $5, you buy it, it doesn't turn on. Big Brain, Scrabble, Pokemon, Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. What is that? Is that a PlayStation? Is that a PS1? That's not a PS2. What is this? What is this? What is this console? That's a PS1?
insane. The outlets, also referred to as the bins, have a much bleaker vibe compared to a normal Goodwill. The items are loosely organized and piled into large blue bins for customers to purchase by the pound. And every 30 minutes, bins are wheeled out by the workers and replaced with brand new bins full of new trash, basically, for you to sift through. Every 30 minutes, you're getting a new fix, which people will be there all day. I think it's people that, one, hoarders. Adam.
Oh, all day? I thought they only have like 15 minutes and then they have to bring in a new group of people. Maybe it's every 15, 30 minutes they bring out new bins.
And also people like resellers, people that go to the bins or they'll go to these other places and they'll sell stuff on like eBay, Amazon, all that kind of shit. While some people visit Goodwill outlets to grab a cheap vintage shirt or two, others take it far more seriously. Their main goal is to grab the most valuable things they can find so they can resell them online for higher prices. Typically. There are some, like I want to say, there are some collectors.
But do you think there are people that actually make good money from that? Ever? From going to the bins and then reselling on eBay? How much money are you making doing that?
Hoarders. You know who you are.
Like, you would have to hit pretty big to be able to make a substantial salary. Because even if you get 10 items that are worth $40, you buy them for $5 each. Like, they have to sell.
You might be watching this right now. These people are
I
referred
feel like it's more of a side hustle than a main job.
to as Goodwill pickers. Because this has become a legitimate way to make good money, these people can very quickly feel threatened by neighboring shoppers, and some will sit and shop for an entire day, becoming territorial when others start to encroach on their
I would love to go pick a fight at a Goodwill bins.
space. Hey! I'm looking at this one. Get out! And they have to box them out
That's my Crash Bandicoot box. You're not touching that.
on that kind of stuff. Start with people's money, dude. They're so desperate to resell an item that looks valuable that they will sometimes pay people directly in order to transfer it over to their cart. This means they're willing to pay people to have something that still needs to be paid for inside the store. There are many stories of people stumbling across cold hard cash within these bins, like a woman who found $2,000 inside of a dirty jacket, or another.
See, no, but that's just that's a one in a lifetime pull. You're not going to the bins 5 times and getting a wad of cash.
Another customer finding $40,000 hidden inside of
Like an old grandma's couch. Oh my God, what a pull. Oh my God, your dead grandma. Your dead grandma, you're like, oh, we'll donate Gam's couch. Little did they know that she had fucking 40 grand in hundreds stuffed in the fucking bottom.
a used couch.
That's grandma's little nest egg.
I mean, how crazy is that? But you hear these stories, and of course, they'll look through everything. I mean, spend meticulous hours digging through stuff in hopes of finding that. I mean, I would buy a couch, stab it open, and be like, at what point?
You think they would, okay, how stained would a mattress have to be for Goodwill not to take it? Like, what if I like soak a couch in piss, and I'm like, I'm donating this, and it reeks? Just smells like piss. You think they're gonna try and like refurbish it? Or they're just like, no, sir, this smells like piss. Or like cigarettes. What if like your grandma's a smoker and her mattress just reeks of cigarettes? You know how hard it is to get like a cigarette smell out of, like furniture?
It's worth it. Many bin shoppers advise people to check all the pockets of certain garments, as there's good chance that you might find hidden treasures, because there's an unlimited potential for big.
I can't wait to dude, there's probably fucking TikTokers that fake this shit. They just bring a wad of cash, jam it into a jacket and just film it, and they'll be like, oh look, I found $500.
Treasures. Because there's an unlimited potential for big finds like this, shoppers revert to their base instincts, doing whatever they can to survive in an environment reminiscent of the ruthless animal kingdom. Right? We're basically calling them like gorillas. We're calling them cavemen, I think is what we're saying. Hordes of people wait behind the doors until the very second they open, descending onto the products like pigs to a bright blue trough.
I'd go for like biological warfare here. I wouldn't shower for weeks prior to the bins run. Just give yourself a green aura. Run to whatever bin you want and just fucking like, just waft. Nobody's getting near you.
Some stores have shoppers that are so
That's where you bring out the dead possum. No. You bring out the dead possum. It's not funny anymore. I've overused the dead possum joke.
feral that the staff has to scream, push, and shove in order to get them behind the designated line as they begin the next rotation of bins and items.
Okay, but that would be, imagine, okay. Okay, Chad, imagine though. I go to the bins, I shove a dead possum under the clothes, and somebody finds it. And they're like fucking just panics.
Back! I'm like, crawling over. I want to look at that purse. I want to look at that purse. I like to think that the Goodwill staff too has like batons and. We talked about the people earlier getting 22 cents an hour. Those are people at like retail stores. There's no way they're putting handicapped people in these bin spots, are they? I mean, it really does. I mean, like pushing those bins. It reminds me of the Indiana Jones thing.
Oh, big bins and people running around, pushing, shoving each other, trying to get to the one they want.
The kids in the carts, whatever. I mean, reads like,
how do you know what to look for though? Like if I went to the bins, I would just be like beelining it to like bags.
Looks like slave labor, dude. One poster online admits that he simply does not have the energy to rummage around the newer bins because aggressive shoppers.
I'm no spring chicken, and the t-shirt bros are cutthroats that'll plow right through ya. My locations don't care about the aggression. Probably don't get paid enough. Now I wait till the vultures clear and rummage after like the weakest injured animal in line, picking at the leftovers. Picking at the leftovers, but he's the vulture of the bins. He's just fucking getting the scraps that everybody leaves behind. He's getting the shit-stained jeans.
Around the newer bins because aggressive shoppers will easily plow through you to get to them. He compares the experience to being a weak, injured animal forced to feast on the scraps left behind by a pack of vultures. He's like, God, dude, get over here. So I can't look through the Chicago Bulls jackets anymore. I'm like a little bird. He also vents about t-shirt bros, referring to vintage shirt-loving people between 18 to 30.
Yeah, you would have to have, if you have really good, like, fashion knowledge, you could probably make a lot of money at the bins.
Seem to travel in packs,
But you would have to go to cities where they have rich people. Like, if you're in just, like, a regular-ass city where people are just donating, like, Walmart clothes that are now just getting marked down, like, you're not going to make money.
It's true. That's, like, a huge thing online of people going and, like, the garage sales and all kinds of stuff for vintage clothing nowadays. You know, it's just like a people going and, like, the garage sales and all kinds of stuff for vintage clothing nowadays. You know, it's just, like, a popular way to resell stuff online. And also, hype beast. Shopping alongside crowds like this often results in physical harm, something that online communities can endlessly attest to. And according to one man, an entire printer was thrown at him out of nowhere from an aggressive shopper. Some have even posted pictures of their injuries, like the woman who specifically shopped at the outlets with her mother in order to act as her bodyguard and protect her from overly aggressive shoppers. And one day, a woman purposely pushed a cart towards her, smashing it into her shin so badly that she almost threw up from the pain. She ended up giving up on returning ever again due to—
When I tell you I saw stars, the pain was excruciating. I ended up going outside to throw up. Manager of the workers saw it happen. He bought pictures from 4 days later.
the fear of getting injured. Listen, dude, don't hate the players, hate the game, right? One disgruntled shopper—
I would say just don't go to the bins then. Like, leave the bins to the overly aggressive people. I know people want to go to find good stuff, but it's like, it's not worth the deal.
explains how she was bitten by a crazy woman who wanted her to move away from—
If you got bitten, that is an immediate suing for assault. Because you could get, like, a disease from someone. If somebody bit me, I'm knocking them the fuck out.
an item she was reaching for. It's not uncommon for outlet shoppers to be threatened or attacked with blades either.
No, you're not. Okay, yeah, I am. Yeah, you know why I know I'm knocking them the fuck out? Because no big-ass motherfucker that's bigger than me and able to knock me out would bite me. Small people bite. That's my logic. If they're biting me, I could knock them the fuck out. If they're big enough to knock me out, they're not going to bite me. They're just going to punch me in the fucking face.
In one instance, a man witnessed a shopper slash their own friend's neck over an item they both wanted. What? Another shopper saw a man sprinting around the store, swinging a machete at people. He had to be tackled by guards or removed from the store. In one story, a man—
I'm not tackling a motherfucker with a machete. I'm a Goodwill minimum wage fucking security guard. Some guy's wielding a machete. Fucking pull out the taser, dog. I'm not running at them.
and found a mug with the words "F you" on it. The man put it in his cart, only to be nearly stabbed outside by a meth head who was furious over him, taking all the good loot. Getting into pirate territory now. On many occasions, there have been full street fights outside the store due to disputes from competitive shoppers. Even young kids will get into aggressive confrontations over minor disputes, and one shopper was shoved by a Gen Z kid who wanted to grab an item, only for an older man to retaliate by flipping him like a quarter and knocking the wind out of him. People that are experienced Goodwill pickers know that it's important to bring a large blanket or other type of material to cover the items in the cart when they step away to dig into the bins. Otherwise, you can run the risk of a shopper seeing your haul and steal them from your cart when your back is turned. I bet you there's shoppers that bring baby diapers. They're wearing diapers. Some people will even shamelessly engage in a tug of war with a complete stranger for a garment if it is potentially worth anything.
I am not losing in a tug of war to that old ass woman.
Engage in a tug of war with a complete
If I want that, I mean, that looks like it's about to rip.
stranger for a garment if it is
I am taking that. I'm jumping over.
potentially worth
Jumping over the
anything,
bin.
either to them or monetarily. Stealing is a rampant issue to the point where some people will crowd around the exits just to swipe things out of your hands. Like how the people are like, the Goodwill staff are like, well, what can we do? They're here to stay. Things can escalate even further when shoppers encounter organized groups of people that show up with the goal of dominating the entire store. This is detailed in a wild story by an outlet shopper. They were delighted to find a selection of designer products in the bins right for the taking. Oh, out of nowhere, 5 or 6 overweight women entered the store. Uh-oh, overweight women. 5 or 6 overweight women enter the store alongside a man that supposedly, this is what they're reporting, he reeked of. They started targeting random groups of people and
It smelled like shit. Oh my god, they're like mob bullying people out of the store.
harassing them. The shopper even overheard the smelly ringleader directing the large woman to shove older people out of the way.
Ew, shove them.
Falls over. Their goal was to intimidate the more reserved people so nobody would come for their items they wanted. When someone tried to approach them, they seemingly pretended to be
Nah, this is pissing me off. This is actually making me mad. I want to go to the bins now and just fucking press these guys. Like, if I would go to the bins, just wait there for somebody to come press me and then just be a problem.
Deaf and started acting confused about what was going on around them. Huh? What? Are you holding to me? Yeah, it probably could do without that, but shoppers aren't even allowed to film inside the store. People suspect that it's not just to preserve people's privacy, but to persuade people not to show just how chaotic the outlets on a day-to-day basis are. Also, I think too, because there's so much broken glass, there's illegal shit you could find, all kinds of stuff. I think that if you were able to
drugs at Goodwill, they don't check the pockets. Oh my god, dextroamphetamines? What is this?
You could find all kinds of stuff. I think that if you were able to record stuff and you were able to do that, I think that there's more legal cases that could show up as well. You could cut your hand on glass, or you could find drugs. I know I think
that was an Adderall.
Adam,
Never
or Mariah,
see Adderall. I feel like that's not Adderall.
he found a gun. Some people will sneak in cameras to make videos showcasing the life of a Goodwill reseller. But not all the people at a Goodwill outlet are aggressive. And in fact, some are just straight up odd. There are people that would enter the store specifically to pick up and smell the dirty underwear.
Oh my god, no. No, that's the freak factor. That's how those guys get the good deals, though. They walk up to the bins and just start sniffing the underwear. Yo, you're walking away. You're walking away, dude. You're like, I really need these shirts in here. Some dude's just like... and like full force.
Zero intention to actually buy any of the products. One man in particular made people so uncomfortable that he was banned from the store.
Sneakily sniffing the dirty underwear. He didn't even buy anything.
That he was banned from the store.
He didn't buy anything. He was just sniffing it, putting it back down.
That's fucked up.
No, it's not. To go in there and be like,
He's not hurting anyone.
Yes, you are.
He's what?
Like, in a way, he's hard, for sure. There's no way he's like, oh, I mean, like, come on. He's probably like, oh, of course you'd be like, oh, come on. You can't smell some used panties? He's like, uh-oh, period panties. Puts it over his head. Walk around. He's like, they call him Frankenstein.
Like it's a gas mask.
One freaking shopper recounted a man that would show up just as
sniffed the bedding and masturbated. I think he must have gone there nightly, burning his face in the hanging sheets and comforters and furiously wanking. They chased him out once. I think he usually just finished. How did they not ban him from the store?
Sniffed the used bedding and furiously masturbate on them almost every night. How about that one, Nick?
Well,
how about that one?
That's different. If you're masturbating, that's different.
What do you think? The guy's he is hard. Does it not make you uncomfortable that a guy is hard, actively hard? If I told you right now when I was recording, I'm like, I record only when I'm hard. That'd be a workplace.
If that's
we need to put a curtain on your door or something. You need a lock on your door.
How many people, like when you go to Costco, how many people you think are hard?
I would assume
like none. Maybe one guy. In all of Costco, one guy. Maybe a random dude one time for 5 minutes.
Not a lot.
But they're out there to roam free.
Okay, let me tell you the difference. This: if you went to Costco, if somebody went up to like a panty section, a guy, he had a Costco dog and he was eating his
Yeah, no, what would be weirder? No, you can't. I can see how Nick's trying to defend the guy smelling the panties at a Goodwill, because you could be like, do these smell bad? If so, I won't buy them. But if you're out just like a regular store smelling the fucking underwear.
Is that something where you're like, well, that guy should probably not be doing that?
Now.
Well, okay. Well, now the puzzle's kind of creating a bit of a picture for me. What are you talking about?
In Costco, that's weird. I just feel like in the outlets.
To me,
trash. It's trash.
But see, that's what makes it even weirder. Is that
it makes it weirder, but the only way you could be like, oh, I get he smelled it, because if it smells dirty, I wouldn't buy it.
Dirty clothes, and he's going in and smelling them. That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be thrown away.
I just think if you're buying underwear from Goodwill, that's odd.
Anyway, who's buying used panties at the outlet?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody, bro. That's like next level. I get buying shirts and like pants, but like buying like used period underwear, like a woman that had period underwear and is like, yeah, I'll just like fucking donate this. Who's buying that? like stained underwear.
I'm not advocating that it's not trash. I'm just saying that a man
I'm like, not even who's buying. Why are they putting that out?
going in there and only smelling panties, that's a character I probably wouldn't want around myself or anybody else.
You've kind of changed my mind.
Twisted my arm. Anyways, the guy who masturbates on beddings, on many occasions, he would go until completion, only seeing him get chased out on one occasion by angry staff members.
It's been 30 years and I still wonder about that guy, but he was at the bins in the fucking 90s.
Completion, only seeing him get chased out on one occasion by angry staff members. One time. Other times, people are just like, okay, that's a hazard zone. Throw your jacket over that.
See, that's a biohazard, because now if someone touches that...
We're done. Some customers would enter the store for no reason other than to...
Some dude pissed on the couch and left. No, no, that's not even like the dude that pissed on the couch. This is just the couch they're selling at Goodwill. This will just be the couch.
Pee all over the items.
And I never understand that too, because you ever see couches on the side of the road? Like if I was somebody that wanted to buy a couch, I'm not going to Goodwill. Like, if I was going to get a used couch, I would just wait until there was one on the side of the road that looked pretty good. And then I would just pick it up.
Leave right away, which is kind of fucked up. What do you get out of that? Besides, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a late epic.
I always pick up furniture on the side of the road. And that furniture is probably not that bad. Because, yeah, people put broken furniture on the side of the road. But you're also like, if people get a new couch and they don't want their old one, they're less likely to bring it to Goodwill. They're probably just going to put it on the side of the road and some guy will take it in a day.
Troll, but like what?
It's like a dog dominating their space.
Because people shoot their loads on people or they pee on people sometimes. And I think it's like a sexual thing too. To me, it's all sexual. One man attempted to rob the store of multiple shirts by putting them all on at the same time. And a staff member watched him put on 13 shirts before trying to inconspicuously leave the store. I like how he's like walks in super skinny, walks out and he's like,
do you think the staff member's like, I want to see how many shirts he can put on?
100%. When he was caught, he tried to play dumb until eventually giving up and taking off all the shirts, including the ones that belonged to him. He walked out of the store shirtless. I would too. I'd be like, I'm sorry, there you go. You guys can keep them, resell that one. My Tasmanian devil dressed up as Scarface shirt. You can keep that one. And according to one man, he saw a man buying a toilet seat with shit all over the bottom of it, holding it.
But why do they have that at the store? Who needs to buy? I'm never going to a Goodwill, and I understand I'm saying this. Who's in the market for a toilet seat? Why? Like, I would get, yeah, if your toilet seat breaks and you're like, I don't have the money to buy one at Amazon or something, or like at a fucking Home Depot or what, I don't know where else you buy toilet seats. I'm not like, yeah, the next place I'm going to go, Goodwill. I'm going to go to Goodwill and look for a toilet seat that matches your toilet. What are the fucking odds that you would find one?
Close while eating a donut. Even without the insane shoppers wreaking havoc, the outlet is plenty dangerous on its own. People often wear sturdy gloves due to the potential to touch drugs, broken glass, or other disgusting substances, pee, piss, whatever. Pee and piss are the same thing, but many have reported finding mice dead and alive deep inside the bins. And in one instance, a live baby bat crawled out from under a used couch.
I thought I was going to say a live baby.
I was really hoping it was just going to end on baby. If anything, fuck it, keep baby. According to another post, a shopper was bumped by a woman's cart only to have her hand slam into a broken glass and slice her thumb wide open. The shopper ran over to a first aid kit the staff had provided, only to find that it was completely empty. Oh,
Oh shit, this is actually one of the used ones they donated. Do you want it? It's $5. Oh wait, hold up. Let me go get the used band-aids in the back.
Because the items that
we should have some loose band-aids around here. So everybody start checking the jean pockets with the poop in them.
bins are not thoroughly checked, it can lead to some insane finds that can be extremely dangerous. One man opened a pocket knife that was covered in some sort of illicit substance that caused him to be high for several hours. Oh, is it a Coke knife?
Could be maybe LSD.
Something like that. If you open it, he's like, what is that?
That would be genuinely terrifying. Doesn't even matter if the high's good. Going to a Goodwill and picking up a product, it like cutting you, and you just starting to immediately get high would be like the scariest experience.
Yeah, and Coke makes sense.
Yeah, he sit there, he opens it up, he's like, whoa. Yeah, he didn't complain. On various other occasions, people have found loaded weapons. And in Miami, a shopper found a gun that he assumed was a toy. He started playing around with it, only to end up shooting someone for real.
How do you think a gun's a toy? Any of you ever held a gun? Like a gun loaded or not is obviously not a BB gun. Like they're heavy. Like a gun if you pick up a pistol, that shit weighs like 5 pounds. Feels like it weighs 5 pounds. Like maybe a little mini like pocket one. Like they sell like women's pistols or something that are supposed to be like concealed in a purse. Like something like that. Maybe I'd be like, oh, this is like a pop gun. But if it's solid metal, I'm not thinking that's a fake gun.
How does that
Oh,
happen?
this has a good weight to it. Bang, 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 bang. What do you mean? I thought it was a toy. Yeah, right, dude.
I was gonna say that's just an
Clog for the
excuse.
size.
That's an excuse again. A lot of this stuff is definitely. Wait, this is real? In Florida, one shopper brought home a baby bouncer still in original packaging. After gifting it to her friend during a baby shower, however, it was revealed to contain a Massberg 715T semi-automatic rifle.
What?
Brought home a baby bouncer still in its original packaging. After gifting it to her friend during a baby shower, however, it was revealed to contain a Massberg 715T semi-automatic rifle. How'd you not know that? You know what I mean?
That's a good
I mean, it would be heavy.
fine though. That's
It's a huge fine. Actually, can I get that back? It's my baby's now. At one person's Goodwill, he watched someone discover a flare gun in the bins. He immediately grabbed it, pointed it at a ceiling, and shot it without second thought.
mindless.
Talk about intrusive thoughts, dude. You see a flare gun in somebody's pant pocket.
Children.
It really is. Oh my God, what? Oh, it's real. Whoa. I like the idea of that's just an excuse for everything. Oh my God, wait, this is real?
To be fair, I feel like I would be one of those guys.
You are smelling panties and doing.
Would you get in trouble? Probably not. If you were at a Goodwill, you found a flare gun and just went, boom. Yeah, it's arson, but your defense is, well, why are you selling a flare gun at Goodwill? You shouldn't be selling me there shouldn't be a flare gun here. I thought it was a pop gun. I could get that. I could get you mistaking a flare gun for like a toy gun versus a fucking Glock 19 or whatever gun that woman found that shot it.
You're doing whatever the fuck you want in there, apparently. Another deadly weapon that people report finding
A grenade? That shit looks like it's from 1940.
on multiple occasions are live grenades.
Oh my God, though, the intrusive thoughts. You're like, is this real? And the pin's right there. I'd be staring that down, just like, oh my God, what do I do? You'd pull the pin? You'd pull the pin? No. I feel like I would panic. I would have to hold it, and I would just be like, what do I do with this? Like, do not bump into me. Please.
In Oregon, an entire building had to be shut down after a World War II era.
How would they know it's you? Well, you're gonna fucking die. If you pull a grenade in a building, you're not surviving that.
A grenade was found in the bins. That is awesome. Do you think it was like the pipe bomb one? It's like a long and has like the little thing at the end.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
maybe. Yeah.
Those are sick. I always like throwing those in video games.
That was World War II?
I think so.
That was World War One. I don't know.
Splitting hairs, dude. In Augusta, someone discovered a box containing.
Bro, that's so scary though, because that might not be like active anymore, but a live World War II era grenade. Couldn't that just blow up? Like, old bombs are unstable. Like, if he dropped that, it'll just explode.
Military grade grenades and mortars. A bomb squad had to come down to secure the items before they could potentially
Secure the items. Who's the guy holding it? Who's the guy fucking holding it in his hand?
detonate. And there is no shortage of weird items that have been found at Goodwill.
Don't move! And he just has to stand there while a guy in a fucking big ass bomb jacket comes walking in. He's just like, just fucking hyperventilating.
Outlets. People often find abundance of sex toys like dirty dildo, silicone asses, and blow-up dolls. And some people have even found used condoms.
A used condom in a Goodwill. Yeah. She tries to there's a price tag on it.
Adult
That'll be 25 cents.
diapers, full diapers, and fresh turds have been reported as well. Other strange finds consist of things like large glass jars filled with mercury, as well as bloody hospital gowns. How the fuck did that end up there? Also mercury? Oh, the alchemist
A jar of mercury. Who's the guy in the back clearing these?
down the road donated all of his stuff to Goodwill. Given how insanely cheap it is to bring home massive amounts of products from Goodwill outlets, people have found that it's extremely dangerous for people with hoarding tendencies. People who have hoarders in their family despise Goodwill because of how it leads them to pile on.
Oh my God, I hate this house. I hate this house. How do people, I understand the idea of hoarding and like being obsessive with like the products you own and not wanting to get rid of anything. I love throwing shit out. I love throwing shit in the trash. I love getting rid of stuff. Even if I'm like, I used to be like, oh, I might use this in a year or two. trash. If I have to say in my head, I might use this within 5 years, it's gone. Unless it's something that's genuinely valuable or like a tool or something. If I have like a fucking, like I'll keep like my stream costumes if I ever want to reuse them. We'll take an example though. I'm trying to think of something that's like, I just random shit I have from stream. It'll be like a mic arm that my OG, I actually did use that. So that was one product that I was like, I might ever use this again, and I did. But it'll be like my old mic equipment. Like, I'll just have something from that I had from like 2021. I'm like, oh, I might use this webcam one day. Trash. The Miku outfit, well, that ripped, so I threw it out. I had to duct tape it. Hold up, I gotta pull my toes. Ow. Ow. Sorry. I stepped on my foot wrong when I was playing volleyball. Ow. Okay.
More and more needless junk, but to be fair, you're gonna find that junk anywhere. If it isn't a Goodwill, it's a trash can. It can be wherever.
Yeah, they're gonna jump in a trash bin and
So
get it.
it's a hoarder's paradise, but still.
Can you crack your nose? Yeah, sure thing. If you ever see me doing this, by the way, oh no, because then you guys are gonna focus on it. If you ever see me doing this, I'm cracking my nose. I gotta turn up my gain. This is gonna be gross. It's really bad. I crack the cartilage in my nose. How do I turn on my gain filter? Okay. Yeah, but I crack my nose all the time. How? I don't know. I definitely have a deviated septum because I only can breathe out of one nostril. I only breathe out of this one. Or it'll switch some days, but it's usually this one. Like, I could breathe it's hard to breathe out of that one. But I've always cracked my nose. There's just like a weird hanging cartilage part.
Oh, you can't point the finger there. You know, and talking about this Goodwill outlet thing, I had to go look for myself. Is it as crazy
Did you used to do cocaine? No.
as people make it out to be, these people online, this culture? Is it as crazy as they say? Well, we had to go find out for ourselves and see if we could find some sick stuff. So
Oh my God, he went to Goodwill.
let's go.
Oh, to the bins. Oh my God, wait, I was with Brooke at Goodwill one day. Should we just do a Goodwill vlog? I want to do that so bad. Just a random, I'd go to like 5 Goodwills and we would just vlog it. And I'd just show the stupid, creepy shit they have there. They do have some good stuff. Like I would try, it would be like a challenge. I'd be like, I have to spend $100. I have to find this, this, and this. Like, when I was there with Brooke, this was probably like a month ago. I was like, I really want to do a vlog. And I was like, one of the challenges should be I have to buy every snow globe they have. Because every Goodwill has like 15 snow globes. I could rack up an army of snow globes if I went to like 4 Goodwills. I could get like 100.
We should leave $100 for them to fight.
Oh, yeah. See, now that's... Jason mask?
These are one of the McDonald's buckets I didn't get.
Are you serious?
It's a boo bucket. Yeah.
Oh, really? There we go.
What do you think was in the boot?
Mousetrap. No.
Look, it fits.
Throw it on, dude. Throw it
Put
on.
it on.
It's too small. It won't work.
Sure, man. We got some nice flooring here for Nick's office.
Yeah, so I can play on the ground.
So you have tummy time in your room.
Hey, sir, there can't be any recording.
Oh, no. Okay.
It must be just the bins, because people record at regular Goodwill all the time. You know those guys that always do dances at Goodwill? They'll do like full-on plays. They'll put on all the clothes and just like reenact certain things.
Hey everyone, this is Adam at Creature Kid, and today we're talking about the Goodwill bins. My favorite place to shop that I try to get everyone to go shop at. Hunter and Nick like to make fun of me about the Goodwill bins, but my love and passion for it is more of salvaging things.
Oh, he looks like a professional, though. He's got that serious
More
face
of-
on. He's got the granny glasses in case they fall off, it catches them.
Salvaging things that are moments away from being thrown away. Some of the things we found over the past couple days, this is a tiny, beautiful silver-plated piece here.
What the fuck are you using that for? Is that a cool pot? Yeah, I'd walk up to that and I'd be like, that's awesome. What am I using that for?
This is probably 1920s. We're gonna use it for a movie
Flowers? I don't grow flowers.
prop, so it's exactly what we need. This tiny little violin here is about as tiny as it can get. This
Oh
is
my God, you know what I got at Goodwill the other day? Hold up, count me down 20 seconds. Well, I got a few other things, but this was cool. It's a little stained or cracked. But look how fucking cool this like beer stein mug is. I gotta give it a better wash. But I haven't used it yet. But it's like, bro's never gonna use that. Yeah, the fuck I will. Yeah, the fuck I will. This is a sick-ass fucking mug. I remember I was hype as shit when I saw it. It's sticky. It's making my hand sticky, and I bought it like a month ago. We'll do a Goodwill vlog soon. I just did the Mexico vlog, so I'll have Cloak edit that, but we'll do a Goodwill vlog soon.
It's a perfect prop we're gonna use that only cost a couple dollars. If you know poker,
Buying a used mug is crazy. Newsflash, buddy, you ever been to a restaurant? You ever been to a restaurant, pal? You ever gotten a drink at any restaurant in your entire fucking life? You've drank out of a used mug. You've drank out of a used mug that has touched thousands of people's lips. You've ever used silverware at a fucking restaurant? You've put forks in your mouth that have been in the mouths of thousands of other people.
Pokemon, you know what that is.
You've ever shaken a hand? I'll leave that one there.
Shadowless Blastoise at a perfect time.
You've ever shaken a man's hand? Leave that one there.
And we were working on a project that was The Thing influenced. This was in a box of DVDs. It's Pro-Life, which is a horror movie, autographed by John Carpenter right there. One of the weirder things is a gold tooth in the bottom of a purse. You see it with the root still on it?
What?
This
Is that a human tooth?
beautiful watercolor painting. I mean, look at that. Insane. The only thing written on it is a little cutout, Angel's Cooking, interior living room. That's from a script, right? Interior living room. It's a set. I figured out Angel's Cooking was a working title for a movie called We're No Angels, which is a Humphrey Bogart film from 1955. That would have been 10 minutes away from going into a dumpster. Let's look at what Maddie found today at the bins.
So I'm a huge fan of vintage luggage pieces. This is actually a vintage carry-on from Escort.
Okay, but I get that, though. More than, like, the gold tooth and paintings and shit, you getting, like, a nice bag.
Which is a pretty cool luggage company. This weird little cowboy purse. This purse, which is very tacky, but it is Loungefly, and that is a really sellable brand if you're trying to, like, make an income off of resales. I think this is maybe one
She
of
found a $1,000 purse at Goodwill.
my favorite pieces that I got today. It's a little Captain Caveman.
Oh my god, I thought it was a hairy potato. Oh my god, I thought it was like a hairy figurine.
And you can always find really good office supplies, usually still sealed. Painter's tape is so expensive, but at the bins, it's by weight. Adam actually picked this one out for me. 1978 full color calendar of Elvis, made in 78. I just finished a short film that takes place in the 70s, and a lot of that.
Whenever I think of Elvis, I always just think of how he died on the toilet. I'm not trying to be like grim here, but he was like turbo constipated. And he died trying to poop.
Stuff came from the bins that was authentically dated.
Yeah, Joe, we know. I didn't know that until like 2 years ago.
This is probably the best thing that we found today. This Blockbuster membership card. This is from 2007, so it's a real antique. This is a VHS tape. It contains the...
But where am I putting that shit? That's what I don't... yeah, I could go... There's so much cool stuff at Goodwill, but it's nothing I'm gonna use. Like, am I gonna just start hanging stuff up on a wall? Like, I don't get that.
OJ trial.
In short, the bins is the best.
It's great for the environment. It's great for history. The bins is just the greatest.
There's no downside to it, except for where's the money going? Because it's not going anywhere good, I'm sure.
It's always fascinating to see just how quickly people let greed take over them when coming to the face-to-face with a good deal. Whether it's Black Friday deals or cheap used clothing, it seems to turn people into complete animals, going absolutely feral. As dangerous and insane as Goodwill outlets can get, people swear by them as a way to find hidden treasure and always come back for more. If you're going to attempt visiting one of these stores, just make sure to do your research and prepare for the worst. You never know if you'll end up being accidentally dosed by a loose needle or find a live grenade. I
mean, I've donated clothes to Goodwill. I always wonder that. Have you guys ever donated clothes before? There's probably some dude just wearing a shirt I wore 6 years ago. Like, or even your parents, like, donating, like, your old toys, like, when you were a kid. Like, there's probably some kid that used the same blocks you used. Somebody find it right now. All right, next.